everyone, I am Ayush Prasad from the Funtastic Academy. I am Ayush Prasad from the Funtastic Academy. So today we are going to learn about viruses. Wait, didn't we do that in the last video? Wait, didn't we? Wait a second. We didn't have enough time in the last video. So we're going to talk about algae. So, today we are going to talk about viruses, especially COVID. So, let's start this discussion. Wait a minute, I feel that something's missing. What's missing? Oh, right, the quiz question. So, what was the quiz question from last video? Oh, it was, I remember. This extract from Irish moss is used to make toothpaste. If you answered carrageenan, you are correct. Now that we've got that out of the way, let's explain what viruses are. But before we talk about that, we need to talk about how were viruses discovered in the first place. So, back in the 1800s, scientists were discovering new microbes here and there. But they found out that some diseases, such as the mosaic disease carried by tobacco plants, were carried by microbes too small for them to find. So, they were puzzled by this. But then, it was into the 1930s that the mosaic virus was first viewed with the help of the electron microscope. So, what are viruses really? So, before we talk about that, we first need to talk about something else. Over the past few episodes in this series, I've been constantly referring to cells without giving an explicit definition of what they are. So, let me give a definition of a cell. A cell is a thing. Inside this thing are all the components needed for life. So, a cell is a living thing, an organism. Now, all living things, asterisk, are made out of cells. You made out of cells. Your pet made out of cells. And all the 4 types of microbes we've discussed so far made out of cells. You may have noticed they put a little asterisk there. That's because viruses aren't made out of cells. So what are viruses? Viruses are genetic material, which is some DNA or RNA, enclosed inside a layer of materials that protect this DNA or RNA. Now, this may have other components attached to it, but all viruses have these 2 parts. Now, how can a virus make you go to the hospital? How can viruses make you sick? Well, let's discuss about that. So, for a virus to infect a living thing, it needs to infect a lot of the cells inside it. In our cells, that it causes the larger organism to experience some difficulties. So, how does a virus infect a cell? Well, the word infect is pretty open-ended. So, I'll just say a virus infects a cell when it has gone to either the lytic cycle or the lysogenic cycle. Now, what do those 2 words mean? Now, first the lytic cycle. It is short of the cycle. In the lytic cycle, a virus goes into the cell and injects its DNA into the DNA of the cell. So, now that the cell has the viral DNA, the virus can basically make the cell do whatever the virus wants. So the virus tells the cell, make a lot of copies of the virus. So the cell basically becomes a virus factory, using all of its resources to make more viruses. Now, after enough viruses are there, the virus gives the cell another order. Kill yourself. So, upon hearing this order, the cell's membrane or outer skeleton bursts. So, all the viruses that were inside are now free. So, they can infect other cells and continue the lytic cycle. Now, what's the lysogenic cycle? It's the longer cycle. Basically, a virus goes into a cell and injects its DNA. But this time, the DNA doesn't immediately hijack the cell. It just stays there, dormant. So, the cell keeps on reproducing. So, this viral DNA is spreading to a lot of cells. Now, this might seem good to you because the virus is dormant, but at any time, it can go back into the lytic cycle. So now, all these cells who have the viral DNA will start becoming viral factories. And this explains why a lot of viruses use the lysogenic cycle. Okay, so now we have discussed how viruses can infect you. Now, a quick note about COVID-19. So, what does coronavirus do to your body? Well, it starts its journey in your nose or mouth. From there, it travels into your lungs. Now, your lungs have a layer of essentially skin inside them called epithelial cells. COVID infects these epithelial cells. Now, this alone isn't that bad. I mean, it is going to give you a cough, but your immune system is going to deal with it. But then, COVID becomes a beast. Now, your immune system responds to this epithelial cell damage. But then, COVID starts infecting those immune cells. So, other immune cells start getting confused. It especially infects neutrophils, which are great at only one thing, killing stuff. So neutrophils kill some of your own normal cells, which don't have COVID. They kill them, and that causes severe lung damage, which can lead to serious issues. Now, if COVID is good, then your immune system will still handle it in a couple of weeks, maybe even months, but it'll handle it. If COVID is bad, well, you're going to be in the hospital for a few months. And that is what makes COVID such a bad infection. It is extremely versatile. And that's true for many viruses. One important fact about viruses is that they mutate, that is, change their DNA, very, very easily. And that's why COVID is such a big problem. It was a bad disease, but it mutated to infect humans. And now it's mutating to infect humans more efficiently. The only goal for a virus is to make more viruses. A virus will actually not infect you so long as you provide some way to create more viruses. But 99% of the time, the only way for a virus to make more viruses cause some significant damage. And that's why viruses are such a big problem. So, get your COVID vaccine and get it as quickly as possible. But let's end it on a happy note with a quiz question. So, did you know that COVID-19 is not the name of the virus? It's the name of the disease this virus causes. The name of the virus is SARS-CoV-2. Now, COVID stands for coronavirus, which is actually a type of virus. But what does SARS stand for? Do your research, and I'll see you in the next